If you're a clinic owner looking to get more traffic to your website and improve your online presence, then you're in the right place. On the Propel Your Practice podcast, we provide chiropractors, physical therapists, and other clinic owners with actionable digital marketing strategies, including local SEO and effective website best practices. You'll learn simple and actionable solutions to help your clinic rank on Google and beat your competition. Together, let's propel your practice. Hey there, today we are talking all about your Google business profile listing. In fact, I'm sharing with you 5 strategies that will help give your listing a boost and help you stand out from your competition. Welcome to today's episode. I'm your host, Darcy Sullivan from Propel Marketing and Design. Now, I think we all know how important your Google business profile listing is for all local businesses. The vast majority of people tuning in to this episode are clinic owners. So I'm going to give some specific examples for a lot of clinic owners that we work with on a regular basis. If you are interested in getting an SEO review, you can visit our website, propelyourcompany.com. We do tons of reviews for clients and potential clients to take a look at how their websites are ranking online. With clients that we work with, we also do Google business profile audits. So having looked at tons and tons and tons of businesses, specifically clinics, Google business profile listings, I can tell you that the vast majority of them do not participate in these 5 strategies that I'm going to share with you today. And I'm going to be honest, number 2 is probably the most controversial, but it really truly makes a big difference. So we're not talking about the basics. We all know that you have to have a Google business profile listing these days. Your Google business profile listing is what controls the way that your listing is displayed in the top section of search and in Google Maps search. Now, you have to have claimed your listing. Your listing should be completely filled out to the best of your abilities. And obviously, you should be collecting reviews. I think that those key elements have been driven into everyone's brain time and time again. So that is not what this episode is about. Are reviews incredibly important? Absolutely. But that's not what we're talking about today. Is it important to claim your listing? Absolutely. Again, not what we're talking about today. Today, we're talking about 5 strategies that I see that aren't being implemented by most clinics. So it's a really great time for you to pick a couple of these, try to implement them, and see how it goes. So the first up is using real photos and using a lot of them. Using real photos, using real videos. And we had a recent episode where we went into exactly which images you should use and why. We'll include that in the notes section associated with this episode or the page on the website that goes into more detail about this episode. It will also include some more basic tips about setting up and optimizing your listing. But for the photos, we want to make sure that we're highlighting what your building looks like from the outside, what it looks like from the inside, that it's showcasing your team members and probably them performing or appearing to perform some of the offerings that you have. So if you're a chiropractor, it might be a chiropractic adjustment. If you're an acupuncturist, it might be someone performing acupuncture. It could be that you've got images that are of you talking to a patient or anything like that. It could also include images from your community involvement. What we don't want to do is use stock photos, and we want to make sure that the photos are of high quality. Again, you can grab the episode where we really went into detail about those photos. And there's also an episode where we go into detail about planning a photo shoot. If that's something you're interested, check out the show notes for those. So that's tip number 1. Strategy number 2, again, probably the most controversial out of all of these. But back in December of 2023, Google stated that openness is a ranking factor. And I think it's a little difficult when we look at our business through the eyes of the business owner and not through the person searching. So openness refers to if your company is open or not. And you've got to think about it like this. If I have a flat tire on this and I'm sitting on the side of the road and I do a Google search for a towing service, of course it makes most sense for Google to deliver me with the places that are open and readily available near me to perform that service or that task. Same thing comes to openness with your business. Does this mean that you should list your business as open 24/7? No. But it does mean if you are a business that, for instance, has a listing and it states that you are closed all day on Wednesday, or that you are closed from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., but you know that that is the time when people are online searching, you might want to reconsider your hours. Also, keep in mind that people don't necessarily assume that just because you're open a specific hour or time, that means that you're taking appointments at that time. So keep that in mind when you consider the hours that you have listed. If you go to update your hours on your Google Business Profile listing, they need to match the hours that you have listed on your website and in other listings. So basics when it comes to your Google Business Profile listing is to make sure that it matches all of your other online listings with your name, your address, your phone number, etc. That also includes your hours. But given that openness is now a ranking factor, you might want to go back and revisit what hours your business is actually open. Number 3, for advanced strategies. You have the opportunity to select what category or categories your business falls under. The vast majority of Google Business Profile listings that we see when we do audits only select one category. While you should absolutely focus on a primary category and make sure that your primary category offers your main business offerings, if you can select a second or third category, we strongly recommend that you do so. Now, obviously, if it isn't appropriate for your business, don't do it. But if your business falls under multiple categories, I suggest you select multiple categories. Now, within the categories, then you have the services that you offer, which you want to make sure you also list and have a description for each of those services. But selecting multiple categories gives you a little bit of a standout from your competition, especially if they are searching the secondary or one of your non-primary categories if your competition only has one primary category selected. Make sense? I hope so. All right, let's keep moving on. Strategy number 4 is to participate in Q&A. And to do so, as the business, asking questions and answering questions. So with the Q&A section of your Google business profile listing, you have the ability to ask questions and answer them as the business. Your most frequently asked questions are good. Let's say you're a chiropractor. A bad example of Q&A would be to ask, what schooling is required to become a chiropractor? That's too basic and doesn't have anything to do with your specific office. What would be a better question is, what should I expect at my first visit? The answer then could be, please arrive 5 to 10 minutes early to your visit to make sure that you're able to fill out the appropriate paperwork ahead of time. Or a good question might be, where should I park when visiting? This one is especially good if parking is difficult for the location that you have. We want to make sure that we ask and answer again some of the most frequently asked questions that you get. It could also be, what services do you offer? That would be a good question. But we want to, again, make sure that the questions and the answers pertain to your specific business. You cannot include a link in the answer. However, you can use the wording, please visit our website for more details. The final suggestion that I have for you for using advanced strategies for your Google business profile listing is to use the Google business profile post. And we, again, have resources specifically about this as well on the website that you can find and we'll include in the show notes. But I suggest that you regularly do post to your Google business profile listing. This is not something that you need to do daily, but if you do it a couple times a month or ideally once a week, you will see more traction and it helps you stand out with your Google business profile listing. Let's do a recap about the strategies we shared today. First and foremost, if you haven't completely gone through and filled out all the information that's available for your Google business profile listing, you will want to do that ahead of time. And you can find more resources in the show notes for this episode. Once you have included your description and you've been out there collecting your reviews and you want to give your listing a little bit more of a boost, here are the strategies that we talked about today. Incorporating more photos and videos in your listing, adjusting the hours of your business to make sure that you're available during the time when people are searching, including multiple categories for your business when appropriate, starting to ask and answer questions in the Q&A section, and doing Google Post. All right, that's it for this episode. Well, hey, we're going to head out shortly, but before we do, I would love to share with you a brand new free webinar that I just put together called Patient-Driven SEO for Clinic Owners. 3 simple steps to attract more patients online without spending 1 cent on ads. You can find this by visiting propelyourcompany.com/learn. In this free training, you will learn what SEO is, how to improve your rankings in the map section of Google, the number one thing you can do today to improve your website performance, which takes less than 10 minutes, why SEO has such a huge impact on your company's bottom line and how to leverage it to get more leads, where to focus your efforts online for maximum results, along with how to integrate the latest in AI to simplify the whole process. Again, you can sign up for that webinar by visiting propelyourcompany.com/learn.